Top Flight TV, Mr. Top Flight Films. I'm gonna get straight to the point. This video will be very repetitive. I will be saying the same thing a lot, repeating it a lot. So just be prepared. 5 police officers shot. Let's talk about it. Rural PA, Pennsylvania, York County, uh, Miller, Roof, James Roof. Okay, I hope I got that name right. We're gonna chop it up, man. I hope everybody's doing good. Uh, we've been going in. We're gonna continue to go in. But today I'm here to say the jig is up, man. I don't know if y'all are noticing, but it's a new day, man. I don't know if y'all really recognize what's going on, but the cream is rising to the top, so to speak. The illusion is being shattered right in front of our very eyes. You understand? All this black people are causing chaos and messing the world up and tearing the country up. All that shit is dead, man. Or at least it's on hold. Okay. The focus has been shifted. Okay? The focus has been shifted into the proper direction. And this should be an eye-opener for everybody. I don't care what side you're on. If you're gonna be honest with yourself, you have to really understand what is going on right now. I think the boy was 21, 24 years old. 24-year-old Caucasian man was being served a warrant on like a farm, a rural farm area type of thing. And the police pulled up to his home and he was in the cornfields and he decided to chop the police down. He killed 3 police officers. He shot 5 and killed 3 of them. Rest in peace to those officers. Very tragic. They deserve to go home to their kids and family. You understand? Let me slow it down, man, because I really want to get in depth and I really want y'all to hear me clearly. Everybody that's been fooled, everybody that's been bamboozled by this propaganda that's been going on out here, it's a new day. The jig is up, man. You dig? Everything is coming to the light. And I hope y'all can see everything is coming to the light. This story is not getting a lot of news coverage. You understand? It's not getting a lot of news coverage. And we know why it's not getting news coverage. It is not flattering to either side. It's not flattering to the Democrats or the Republicans. So nobody wants to talk about it. You dig? We can pretty much guess, and I'm not a side person, all this liberal, conservative stuff, I'm gonna get on that in a second. All this liberal, conservative stuff is out of control. Y'all thought the Bloods and Crips was bad. Y'all thought the GDs and BDs was bad. This shit right here, bro. Like, let's be honest. This liberal conservative thing this is what's really tearing the country up. It's not a 15-year-old with a 30 clip and a Glock. He may be tearing his community up, but this shit right here is tearing the whole country apart. And the people that are in power, they don't want to reconcile. They don't want this shit to come together. Donald Trump told you, he said, I can care less. I don't want to reconcile with the left. This is what he said. So yeah, I was just in PA yesterday. And if you're not familiar with that part of Pennsylvania, it's very rural. It's nothing but farmland, cornfields, and you got little small towns and enclaves amongst that. And of course, it's a red area. You know what I'm saying? These people practice Republican. It's MAGA country. You know what I'm saying? So today, what we're going to discuss, and I invite everybody that comes into my chat, I invite you to come talk about this shooting. And I want you to speak on this shooting and be honest, okay? And I want you to recognize that it wasn't black people who just killed 3 police officers. I want to see if y'all can have a real honest conversation today. It wasn't done in Chicago. It wasn't done in Memphis. You dig? It wasn't done in D.C. They got the National Guards in D.C. Meanwhile, 5 police officers got shot in Pennsylvania. Yeah, yeah. You love the hat? Y'all like the hat? Yeah, I like the hat. I love this hat, man. But yeah. Once again, today's topic is the 5 police officers that were shot in Pennsylvania. They were shot in a rural area. Okay, they were 3 of them were deceased, and rest in peace to those officers. Uh, they had families. You understand? They were at work, and they were just doing their job. You know what I'm saying? And Mr. Miller or Mr. Ruth, he decided to take their life. You understand? And what did he take their life for? I told y'all it's gonna be a lot of this shit going on. Didn't I tell y'all last week? I told y'all last week, after this Charlie Kirk shooting, there's gonna be a lot more violence going on. I believe this is directly linked. I believe that young man was angry. He's 24 years old. I guarantee you he was a major Charlie Kirk supporter. I guarantee you he was. I bet you he was. And people are angry. And they taking it out on each other. You dig? I want to make the point that if you can't see by now that this political stuff is what's tearing the country up, then you don't want to see it or you don't want to admit it. You understand? We have to be honest, man. We have to recognize that what these people are doing, this political violence, these gangs, they're gangs at this point. They gangs at this point, man. Major, big gangs. You know what I'm saying? And it's nasty work. It's really nasty work, man, because these are the people that's in charge. They just fired Jimmy Kimmel. They just canceled Jimmy Kimmel. Not that I really care, you dig? But what happened? What happened to freedom of speech? What happened to freedom of speech? Josh H says it's the victimization of certain groups as well. The propaganda is terrible. What elaborate, my brother, elaborate. Yeah. I want to talk to some MAGA people. I want to talk to some MAGA people. I want to ask you, what happened to freedom of speech? Do y'all not believe in that today? I mean, honestly, past the ad hominems and insults, I want to know, how do you feel about freedom of speech today? Tootie, oh, what's up, baby? What's going on? I appreciate you. Yeah, we just chopping it up, man. Tootie, did you hear about the 5 officers that were shot in PA? Very tragic stuff, man. Very tragic. Somebody, Unc, says, y'all like to be lied to. Talk about it, somebody, Unc. What do we like to be lied to about? Let me guess. You're a brother who likes or who is a supporter of Charlie Kirk. Let me guess. And he told you the truth, and you just melted. Your heart melted, didn't it? And now you're on the Charlie wagon. Gabriel said, Trump, only president whose ancestors didn't own slaves. Obama, what does that mean? Stay on topic, bro. Gabriel, how do you feel about the 5 police officers that were shot in Pennsylvania by a white man? How do you feel about that? How you feel about that, man? Y'all want to talk? We're not going to deflect today. Okay, don't deflect. Just talk about the topic at hand. Jimmy Shark says, why don't you support Charlie Kirk? He made a lot of sense. Well, I got several videos on my page of why I don't support him. You can go check those out. But in short, Charlie Kirk was a propagandist, and he was an act, and he was a liar, and he was here to cause propaganda and to deflect from white supremacy. You understand that? That's why, in a nutshell. You're not gonna believe it. I know you're not gonna believe it, but no problem. It's not for everybody. The 85% just are asleep. So I'm not saying you're asleep. I'm saying 85% of the people, they don't understand what's going on out here. Gabriel said, I live in PA. Shit happens. They signed up for that job. Oh, Gabriel, are you a Caucasian man? Tootie all said by a white man. Oh, this is gonna be a big day. Yeah, but see the thing is the news is not talking about it. Now, if this shit would have happened in Chicago or DC or Baltimore, if 5 officers would have been gunned down in one of these black cities, do y'all understand what would be going on right now? It would be all over the news. Everybody will be quoting Charlie Kirk. But nobody, see, this is the thing. While you guys were busy talking about single black mothers, while you guys were busy talking about crime stats, you got real deal terrorists on American land. You got real deal domestic terrorism going on. Somebody said, let's have the conversation. So I was right. You are a brother. You are a brother, right? You love Charlie Kirk now? Did he make your heart melt? Reginald, shout out to you. Can somebody hit the like button for me? I don't got not one like in this joint, man. Mavery says black people have and never will be a net positive to a country they are in. Reparations are, listen, you got it wrong, Mavery. We have been the major positive of this country. We are the moral fabric of this country. We are the moral currency of this country. You understand? We are the true patriots. We really fight for real justice and liberty for all. I'm gonna give you an example. Today, they have a database of people who said mean things about Charlie Kirk and they're getting them fired. They are spitting on the First Amendment. They're spitting on freedom of speech. We don't do that. We'll let people have their freedom of speech. That's not American. To get Jimmy Kimmel and random people fired, that's not American. That's not the American way. I thought it was freedom of speech. Somebody said I'm conservative, so you don't want to admit that you a brother, or are you not? Just say yes or no. So Done says you're a racist. Okay. Marble Fox Gamer said freedom of speech is a legit thing. As long as you don't threaten to harm, you can say what you want. So Marble Fox, let me ask you, why are people getting fired? Why has Jimmy Kimmel been fired? And why has there been a database created to track those who are speaking their mind? Scrooge McDuck said, your black ass has been getting welfare your whole life. I see that. Scrooge, how do you feel about the 5 police that were shot by that white man today in Pennsylvania? How you feel about that? Stop the Violence says, white people like to forget they acquired America by blood and murder. No, they don't forget. They call it conquering. They say they conquered. Stone Caveman said, this man's a real American, not these racist MAGA pieces of shit. Shout out to you, Stone Caveman. Shout out to you, homie. Yeah, we practice real patriotism. We don't just practice it for one group. You understand? We don't just practice it for one group. You gotta understand that we fought for everybody's civil rights. Jack Lantern said Charlie Kirk didn't have free speech. He got killed for not even speaking his mind. Giving the power to the people to speak their minds, and Democrats couldn't have that. And now Jack Lantern, let's be real. Let's be real. Because this is the type of thinking that's tearing the country up. First and foremost, you're speculating. You don't know why he was killed. That's first and foremost. You don't know for a fact he got killed because of his views and opinions or for speaking his mind. And anybody with a brain, right, is going to question why he got killed. You understand that? Anybody with a brain is going to really say, hold up, this shit, this don't even look right. You're not even thinking past the fact that somebody could have put the hit out for political purposes, people amongst his own team. You're not thinking about that. You just assume it to make you, whatever makes you comfortable. The narrative that makes you comfortable is what you're gonna run with. FBA Kush Boy, salute to you, homie. FBA in the building, man. Shout out to my good foundational black Americans. Shout out to all my Americans, real Americans. You dig? Gabriel says the First Amendment doesn't extend to private companies. Cool, no problem. But why are you reporting them to private companies? As an American, we know your butt hurt. We know you're very mad. But as an American who says you're American, says you're a patriot, when you see somebody say something, why would you go report it if you are practicing patriotism? Is the Democrat Party, is the Republican Party the new snowflakes? And I don't care about neither party. I'm just asking. Nathan says, not his butt hurt as you guys not getting reparations. Nobody's tripping, bro. We're gonna get reparations, and we are. So whether you like it or not, and that's why you're in this chat trying to cope, because you know what's coming. FBA Kush Boy says, we know you don't mean that you love black America, bro. No, listen, I love America. I love America. Listen, this is not a pro-black channel. That's not what this is. This is a pro-justice channel. You dig? I love my FBA people. I love good people. You understand? That's from the bottom of my heart. Because you gotta understand something. I'm not gonna be blinded, you understand? And say that I haven't been in the mud with some white folks. I haven't been in the mud with some Mexicans. I'm riding for my people's cause. That's the only cause I'm riding for. You know what I'm saying? Everybody else gonna have to handle their business. But I got love for people in general. You know what I'm saying? Dripping Melanin said, you love good white people. I love people, period, man. Anybody that respects me, I respect them. Real simple. You understand? Paper Chaser says, you want reparations for something that happened to your great-great-granddad. Everybody is so mad about these reparations. Y'all so mad. Y'all so mad. Donnie Bird said, what if we gave reparations through tax deductions? Would that be sufficient? However you got to do it, we're going to need them checks to be cut, man. You understand? However y'all want to do it, we need these checks to be cut. Y'all cut them for the Native Americans, and I can go through the list of people who got reparations, but they're going to need to be cut. Why are y'all focused on the hat? Who's going to talk about the 5 police officers? Y'all love to deflect, man. Who's going to talk about the 5 police officers that were gunned down in Pennsylvania yesterday by a white man? Who's going to talk about that? Fuck my hat. The Extreme Dream Survival Channel says, brother, you're correct. We don't know the reason why he was killed. What I do know is I'm a 54-year-old black man. I'm tired. I love America, but America doesn't love us. Listen, I used to hate America. I want to give y'all, my experience. I didn't consider myself American. But then when I really looked at it and I said, you know what? My family built America. Our ancestors built this shit. And what you see going on in America, this racism and white supremacy, that is not the American way. That's not what America stands for. You understand? That's what people made it into. They took these principles and they took these beliefs and they used them to their benefit. But the principles still remain. You know what I'm saying? I got a big tattoo of Africa on my chest. But I had to realize, man, I'm like, you know what, man? My family is from here. They built this shit. And I'm going to respect my homeland. You know what I'm saying? And whether other people take these principles and utilize them, that's on them. Y'all hit the like button for me, man. And subscribe to the channel if you like the content. We about to start bringing people up on the panel, too. As soon as I get everything right. Super Deuce said I disagree. What you disagree with, player? Dripping Melanin said, you never been to Africa, brother. Yeah, I know. I know. I was on that Africa shit. You know what I'm saying? Because I needed to learn. I needed to go through my learning process. You know what I'm saying? So I can get to my final destination. Patrick said, you didn't build a damn thing. Listen, You know what we built. You know we built the country. You dig? Your people, your ancestors, they tried, but they failed. They didn't build nothing until we got here. And that's a fact. That's a historical fact. You dig? Dripping Melanin said, you got a country tattoo you never been to. Yeah, I did. Cause I was on code. You know what I'm saying? I was on code. You dig? And I hated America that much. You see what I'm saying? Super Dude said just about everything I heard so far. I would talk about it, bro. You just saying one-liners. Speak. Speak, my nigga. Stone Caveman said, any of you weirdo MAGA Christians being weird, crack open your Bible. Surprise says, what part of America did you build? Where are you at right now, Surprise? Not only did we build it physically, we built it financially. You dig? We were the first commodity on Wall Street. Why don't y'all do the I'm tired of doing the homework for y'all, man. Why don't y'all go research something? Listen, put down the phone from listening to Charlie Kirk videos, okay? And go get some real motherfucking history. Not his story. See, y'all love the feel good history, the real quick shit on TikTok, where a white dude comes on the screen and tells you some shit that makes you feel good, makes you feel good about yourself. Like, no. Go get the real shit, man. Super Dude says, we're all Americans. No problem, but I'm a foundational black American. We're the foundation. A lot of the people in America, they came here in the 1920s. They're immigrants. They came from Ireland. They came from other places. Dripping Melanin said, Africa sold you. Yes, they did. Yes, they did. I'm not rocking with Africa like that. You know what I'm saying? Dripping Melanin, are you all right? Are you following what's going on over here? You busy? You driving or something? Shout out to you, sis. Say Less Podcast said all they did was colonize and steal. That's it. And we built. We built. You dig? Jimmy Montgomery said, you built nothing. History says otherwise. You dig? Is anybody going to talk about the 5 police officers, that were shot, 3 of them killed by a white man yesterday? Is anybody going to talk about that? Nobody wants. Y'all don't love you don't love your police officers. See, this is the thing, man. The Blue Lives Matter people, y'all hate the fucking police. The Blue Lives Matter people, y'all hate the police more than anybody. Y'all the ones that be gunning these motherfuckers down. See, when a Mike Brown gets shot by the police unarmed, y'all the first people talking about Blue Lives Matter, protect our officers. But when police get killed, y'all don't want to talk about it. And y'all be the ones chopping them down. Bruh. 3, I want y'all to hear me, especially the racist motherfucker in these comments. Hear me clearly. 3 police were shot down yesterday, killed. 5 were shot, 3 were killed by the hands of a white man. It didn't happen in Chicago. It didn't happen in DC. How do you feel about this? I thought we black people were tearing the country up. Y'all been running rampant. The jig is up, man. It's up. The jig is up, homie. You dig? Yeah, Kevin said, talk about the gang violence. Bruh. These people are obsessed with us. They still want to talk about gang violence. We're on the cusp of a civil war, and they still want to talk about black people. This shit, man, you can't make this shit up. They've been so brainwashed and hypnotized. When they go to sleep, all they hear is black crime, Chicago, DC, single mothers. Oh my goodness, that's all they hear. They don't know nothing else, bro. They don't know nothing else. John the Congress said, bring it, tough guy. Listen, I'm not threatening any violence. I don't want a civil war. I'm not talking about it. You guys are talking about a civil war. This is what your community is chanting in the streets. Fight back, white man, fight. This is what y'all are doing. Not me. Okay. You dig? Bring it, tough guy. Everybody's so damn tough online. I don't like violence. I don't want to have to get violent. You dig? Hometown said, why would I pay you reparations for? Hometown, you want to talk about the 5 police that were killed? I mean, the 3 police that were killed, the 5 that were shot. You want to talk about that? No? Okay. All right, got you. Angry Honky said, you sure are talking a lot of shit. Yes, yes, yes. Dripping melanin. Oh, dripping melanin. This is you're not dripping any melanin. You're not dripping melanin. The gym. What's up, baby? Thank you. I appreciate that. Thor said, voting Dem is so bitch made. I agree. I'm not a Democrat neither. You go on my page and watch my videos, man, you see I have a long history of getting at the Democrats. You understand? Michael Brown, I appreciate you, homie. I appreciate you. Yeah, so 5 police were shot yesterday by a white man, Pennsylvania. I told y'all it's gonna be a very repetitive stream. I'm gonna be saying the same thing over and over. 5 police were shot yesterday by a white man. Anybody want to talk about it? Anybody care to chime in? You think it was the single mother? You think that boy had a single mother? He was a 24-year-old boy. You think he had a single mother? Jared Killjoy said, I did. Never respected my police, but I don't know what you're saying. I don't know what you're saying. John Boy said, what a victim. No. The victims are in Pennsylvania. Are you going to talk about the 5 police that were shot yesterday? That's where the victims are. Why won't you talk about that? The Extreme Dream Survival Channel said, brother, you are correct. Again, our black forefathers built this country. Slavery made this country great and wealthy. I am a foundational black American also. I love this country. Thank you, my brother. Yeah. Whether people want to believe that or not, whether people want to, agree with that, this is a whole fact. They can go do the math, you know what I'm saying, if they want to really know if that's true or not. They've been told a nice, soft story to make them feel good. Well, honey, my mom, how is it that we had slaves, Mom? This how, when they learned about this shit in school, Mom, we had our ancestors had slaves. Well, honey, listen though, we conquered some land. We conquered some land, and we went and picked up some black people, and we gave them jobs, okay, and we gave them homes and clothing. They were our little friends. This is the story that they was told, and we gave them jobs, and it all turned out to be so great. They should be grateful. In reality, there's a whole nother truth to this shit. You know what I'm saying? Legend Dana sent the cash app. I appreciate you. You ain't want to leave a comment? John Doe said, oh yes, slaves were only in America. We're talking about what happened in America, homie. We're talking about what happened in the US of A. Don't deflect onto other countries. You dig? All I see is insults. You guys aren't intelligent at all. At all. Y'all know I do this shit all day, man. Y'all know I do this shit all motherfucking day. Where's my goddamn pipe at? Yeah, walk with me for a second. Oh, never mind. I got it in my pocket. Y'all don't have anything intelligent to say? I want somebody to answer my question. What is going on with all this white on white violence? Can anybody tell me what is the problem? What is going on in your community? We really need to come together and figure out how to help you guys, because this shit is getting out of hand. Zara, I appreciate you. Mindless said, who sold the white slaves? What white slaves? It was illegal for white people to be slaves. Y'all know that? It was illegal for white people to be slaves. You're talking about the indentured servants who were getting paid. I ain't got time for that myth today. I don't even feel like doing it. I don't even feel like dealing with that myth. Kaplan Gray said, you're dumb and racist. James said, saying stupid stuff like this is why your dad left you. Matt says, this dude really thinks they weren't white slaves. Not in America, no. They were indentured servants, sir. Buddy Duke said, why did blacks buy blacks? All right, I go through this every stream. They bought blacks because they were buying their family back. Because your forefathers were degenerates and enslaved people. What kind of question is that? They had to buy their fucking family back. This is the shit that your forefathers were doing. Human trafficking. So when a slave got free, they had to buy their family. That's why most black slave owners were slave owners on paper. That's the only way you can get their people back. Isn't that horrendous? Isn't that degenerate, dog? Home around the world said, where are reparations as blacks? Yeah, we gonna get man. Listen, everybody needs to keep pushing for reparations. No reparations, no vote. That's what we on. No reparations, no vote. If all the foundational black Americans in the country stood on that, we'd get reparations. You dig? If you got a long comment, send a super chat. Drew Hall said, question, do you know who founded the KKK? No, tell me who founded the KKK. It really doesn't matter. Y'all about to pull some shit out your ass. Let me guess, a black man founded the KKK. That's what you gonna say? Who cares? What difference do it make? Hector Valdez says the chat looking triggered every day, my brother. Every day. Every day. Racket says, report this account. Yeah, you little snowflake, report my account. Y'all are reporting people, getting people fired from their jobs like some hoes. Y'all are making databases. What happened to free speech? Why would you report me? Don't you believe, aren't you an American? Are you not why are you not practicing patriotism? SoCal said, should Native Americans get reparations? Bro, they already get reparations. Gaming Mouse says, what are your thoughts on DEI? That's a great question. I like that question. Something intelligent, thank you. DEI, my opinion, I don't care about DEI. Most black people don't care about DEI because we didn't get the benefits of DEI. We didn't get the benefits of affirmative action. Can anybody in the chat tell me who benefited the most from DEI? Is there anybody in the chat that can tell me this? Anybody? Anybody know the answer to this? Jeezy the Great said white women. Thank you, sir. Let me school y'all. Racists in the chat, your wives are the ones who benefited the most from DEI. This is a fact, since y'all love statistics so much. We didn't care about that shit. We were on the bottom of DEI. Foundational black Americans, we benefited the least. So I don't really care about DEI. But on the other side, let's just say I do care about DEI. You all took DEI and you ran with it as if people were just getting jobs because they're black. And in a nutshell, when they pull those applications, they have to have a certain amount of diversity, as they should. Let me talk about DEI real quick. Let me talk about why there should be such programs. Not that I care about it. I'm a business owner. I don't really give a fuck. But the reason why there should be a program to make sure that people aren't being excluded is because America has a history, a long track record of excluding people based off of race and gender and whatever else. You all have so why are y'all acting like, oh my goodness, I want the person who gets the job to be qualified. Okay, cool, they will be qualified, but they have to look at the applications and they have to they have to have a certain amount of diversity, because if not, y'all will lock everybody the fuck out, just like y'all did in the past. Lock everybody out. Nope, no water fountain for you. Nope, you can't go to this school. Nope. I mean, come on, man. What we talking about? This is why. And I don't, again, I'm gonna say it again for the people. I don't care about DEI whatsoever. Legend Dana said whites were slaves in the Ottoman Empire. I don't care about, bruh. I'm talking about America, dog. I appreciate the super chat, though. Appreciate the super chat. I'm not doing the Italian Irish myth. Go do the research, homie. Go do the research. Sharon Haywood. Appreciate you, sweetheart. Sen said, stop calling yourself Black American. No, I'm a foundational Black American. We're the foundation of this goddamn country. You dig? We're the patriots of this country. Okay? Not one-sided patriotism. Where I get to have free speech, but you, that's the type of Americans we're seeing today. Not all, but the racists, this is the type of America you guys are in. We can have free speech. We can talk trash about George Floyd and Trayvon Martin and every other person we want to. We can act as ignorant as we want. We can spread as much hate as we want. But as soon as our beloved dear leader, Charlie Kirk, gets his TV turned off, now you can't have freedom of speech. That's the kind of American you are. We don't know nothing about that America. We know about liberty and justice for all. Browning said, can I please debate you one-on-one? I will pay you $5. Please, yeah, let's do it, man. Browning, where you at? When you want to debate, my man? If I could, I'd bring you on here now. I don't know if I can bring you on here now. I wish I could bring you on here right now. I wish YouTube had a feature on here. No, that's not it. Oh, shit, I'm bugging. Oh, fuck, this is a goddamn green screen. Get me off this green screen. Get me off this damn green. What the hell? Turk said these clowns in the comments are upset. Do you see them, bro? This is every day. They hate it. Goku said blacks and whites need to pay us natives rent for land. No, sir. Listen, Goku, you can get that. You can get that work too. Listen, sir. They were already black aboriginals here, and this is coming from somebody. I have native ancestry. My mother's side is Nanticoke Indian, like for real. So we don't need to pay you shit. You already get paid. The government already pays you. You guys have reservations. You have casinos. You got hospitals. You got a lot of good shit going on in the Native American lineage. You dig? Miles Freeman said, debate me. Sure. Listen, if y'all, anybody that wants to debate, listen. Anybody wants to debate, I want you to go on to Instagram, topflight_TV, and hit my inbox, and we'll set it up. Y'all stop talking about the Irish myth. Knock it off, man. Knock it off. Goku said, no, they wasn't. I studied genealogy. Non-blacks here. No, they were black people here. Even Christopher Columbus wrote about it in his diary. Okay? They just classified, they classified, at some point they classified certain Indians as Negro. So the Aboriginal blacks that were already here were mixed in with the Africans that came over here on the slave ships. You dig? And we're foundational black Americans. Browning said, you can set it to only me able to comment. Go ahead, just put your comment up there. Daniel Rodriguez says, there wasn't any blacks here. Sure, Daniel. Sure. I ain't gonna argue with nobody, though. Y'all can go look up the research, man. Okay? Y'all keep saying we sold ourselves. No, listen, it doesn't matter. The Africans who sold us, they need to pay reparations too. You understand? Y'all say shit like, well, Africans sold you, as if that makes your part in the crime any better. You understand? Like, y'all so simple-minded that y'all think deflecting to an African that sold us, yeah, they was dead wrong. But you all purchased. You all purchased people. You all trafficked the people. At least the Africans got an excuse. At least they were kind of bamboozled. They've never see them Africans over there. They wasn't used to this type of uh, degeneracy. They didn't really know nothing about that type of degenerate shit. They didn't know what y'all was gonna do to us when we got over here. They did not know what y'all was gonna do to us when we got over here. It doesn't make it right what they did, but y'all trafficked people. Your forefathers, the ones you're so proud of, they trafficked. They were human traffickers. Okay, you got it. Are y'all proud of it? I know you're not proud of it. That's why they trying to rewrite history. That's where Charlie Kirk came in at. He was a tool to rewrite history. He would always deflect from white supremacy. And he would always talk about how bad black people were. Cullen Bass says, Malcolm X, R.I.P. James said, no, asshole. England ended slave trading. I don't know what that comment is even for. Jeffrey Brooks said, yes, they did, and they didn't care. No, they didn't care. They care now, because in 2025, when you look back at history, it's nasty work. Look. That's why they try to get rid of it. They try to, like, cover this shit up. They want it out of their sight. But the thing is, man, the whole world knows. The whole world knows what was done. The whole world knows how these racists get down. And they're sitting over here watching y'all right now. They're watching y'all blame black people as y'all kill each other, as there is a war going on, as 5 police officers were shot yesterday in PA by a white man. They're watching you deflect over to Chicago. Nasty work, man. You dig? Brownie said, would you please explain how you can equate the horrific crimes of the British Empire and 89 of American history to those living today? Well, I don't know if I quite understand your question. Equate the horrific crimes of the British Empire. Well, you know, see what you're doing is you're telling half the truth. Was America under the British Empire in the 1900s? Do y'all know they was hanging niggas in 1950? Like, what are you talking about the British Empire, bro? Like, knock it off, man. You don't want to debate. You don't want to debate. Dustin Sherman said, you weren't a slave. Look, I wasn't a lot of things. I wasn't a Japanese American. They got reparations. You dig? I'm not a Ukrainian. They get money. I'm not an Israelite. They get big money. This is how fucking stupid y'all are. Y'all are so worried about foundational black Americans, the people that rightfully built the country. Y'all don't want us to get money, but y'all don't have no problem with them sending all billions and trillions overseas. You don't see none of the kickback. It doesn't make your economy get any bigger. It just goes right out the window. Y'all would rather see money go into the Atlantic Ocean than you would see it go into a foundational black man's hand. Let's just be real. Somebody said, why are they slaves in Africa? I don't know, I'm not African. You gotta ask the people in Africa. This is my homeland right here. I'm a foundational black American. Isaiah Michael said, you're a nasty person. To you, I'm a nasty person because you don't like getting this work. So of course I'm a nasty person to you. You don't like getting this work. Miles Freeman said, what about the Zulu Nation? You want to talk about them? Go ahead. What you want to talk about the Zulus for? I mean, what relevance they had to the conversation? I don't know why people talk about Africa. I'm a goddamn American. I'm a foundational black American. You dig? Uh, same comments over and over and over. You did. Dustin Sherman said, "Do better for yourself instead of asking others to pay your way." Dustin? Let me ask you a question, bro. I know your comment is just really like just a cope. I'm sitting in front of my home that I paid for. You dig? I have my own shit going on. How is holding the country accountable for a debt that is owed begging for money? How does that work? How does that work? YouTube says, funny part is most black people don't even have ancestors that were slaves, but for some reason we need to pay them money because of slavery 200 years ago. Well, YouTube, listen, I'm not talking about all black people. All black people don't get reparations. Only foundational black Americans. A foundational black American is somebody whose family did not immigrate here. Somebody who cannot be deported. Somebody whose family lineage goes back to the 1870 census. That's me, and there's a lot of us. It's 43 million of us. What are you talking about? You dig? You think all these slaves that were in America, do you believe that they didn't have kids and grandkids and great grandkids? That was a dumb comment. Nobody still wants to talk about the 5 police officers that were gunned down in PA yesterday by a white man. Nobody wants to talk about that still. It's been 46 minutes and none of y'all said a word about it. Why do y'all not want to talk about the crime that's going on in your community? Why does nobody want to talk about the crime that's going on in your community? That's what I came here for. Can somebody please speak on that? Right. Hey, Browning said the United States was only around since 1776. In 89 years, we abolished slavery and da 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 da. Yeah, that's why we're foundational black Americans, because we were here way before that. Listen, you see that date right there? What date does that say? What date does that say? 1619. We were here before there was an America. Y'all get that? We were building this shit. We built it. That's why I say we built America. Because when we got here, there was no America. We had to build it for free. That's why we're asking for reparations. You dig? Dustin said, how much should you receive? Well, we're starting at 20 trillion. We're gonna start at 20 trillion. That's a good number to start with. You dig? We're gonna start at 20 trillion. Feel me? Yeah. No, not per person. No. Let me ask y'all a question. Even the racist people in here. Wouldn't it, listen, if you paid, if government paid reparations, y'all could at least say, man, look, we paid you reparations, we made it right. The thing is, you enslaved a whole people for hundreds of years. You didn't pay the people. You dig? Wouldn't you as an American say, you know what, man, we need to go ahead and tighten them up. We fucked their ancestors over, and we need to make it right. They're our foundational black American brothers. They did build this motherfucker. You dig? Let's just break them off and try to get past this shit. Y'all keep telling us to get past this shit, and y'all haven't made it right. You dig? Rockman said, my grandparents were immigrants. I don't owe you shit. Right. They're immigrants. But let me tell you why they owe too. Let me tell you why all the Irish and the other immigrants owe. When they were over there in those countries, those poor, broke down countries, struggling, starving, potato famine, when they were over there struggling, they heard about this new place called America, right? Shit, there's a new place called America. Oh, they have slaves? Oh, I want to go over there and partake in this. All I have to do is have white skin, and I can go over there and partake in all these goods? Well, shit, let's hop on this boat and head on over there. So they knew what was going on over here. They knew that there were black people building the country for free. They knew black people were over here building the country for free. They decided to come over and get a piece of the pie. That's why they owe reparations. You dig? Isaiah said your mindset is dying out. No, it's not. It may be amongst the people that you know and you've been watching and seeing in your algorithm, a bunch of coons on there crying about Charlie Kirk. That's what you see. That's not the reality, Holmes. That's not the reality. That's not the reality. We still here, man. We still here. We still pushing the truth. You dig? Baby Choker said, get a job, N-word. Stormy said, why you ain't at work? Because I make my own hours. That's why. Browning said, why are the inner cities that are majority black most subsidized communities in this nation? Why have black people done nothing with the money that, oh my God. You wanted to debate me, Browning? You really wanted to debate me with these type of questions? You asked, why are the inner cities that are majority black the most subsidized community? Are you fucking serious? You don't know history? You don't know that the U.S. government put crack in these communities? Like literally put tons of crack cocaine in these communities? You don't know that? Oh, you don't know about redlining? We can't debate. You can't debate me, my man. DRG said, debate this guy is so easy. I haven't seen anything debatable, worth debating yet. Stormy, I just told you. I said I make the hours, okay? Isaiah Michael said, then do something with all the money you got. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. Stormy said, who sold the crack? See, y'all are amazing, bro. Like, you skip past the fact that there was a biological warfare. Y'all skip past the fact that there was real deal you don't want to talk, you deflect from the biological warfare. This is Charlie Kirk shit. Skip past the fact that there was biological warfare here on American land and ask who sold the crack. Who sold the crack? The people the CIA gave the crack to. Freeway Ricky Ross. They knew what they were doing. They knew exactly what they was doing. You dig? Y'all are nasty. It's nasty work, man. Dustin Sherman said, how much? How much what? Browning said, answer my, Browning, you, come on, guys. No, not 20 trillion per person. No, I already told you that. 20 trillion for foundational black Americans. There's 40 million of us. 40 million of us. DRG said, do you even know why that happened? Yeah, I do, but what difference does it make? There's no justification. Turn the page says, Charlie Kirk is a man of God. Well, he made you believe that. Charlie Kirk was a man of wealth. Very wealthy man, had a very beautiful home. You didn't get any of that shit, did you? You ain't get none of that money. Will said, all these immigrant Caucasians are talking about a corporate entity job plan dumb. Dustin Sherman said, how much per person so we can end the slavery topic? Well, I don't think that the topic will ever be ended, but we can at least say that there's been some resolution. We can at least say there's been some good faith to move forward. But you can't just enslave people, kick them out with nothing, and then blame them for their behaviors and their conditions, and then put them at the bottom of the wealth gap, because we're at the bottom of the wealth gap. Very bottom. Foundation. I'm not talking about all black people. I'm talking about foundational black Americans are at the bottom of the wealth gap. And it's by design, okay? The Democrats and the Republicans want to keep us at the bottom of this wealth gap. That's one thing they all agree on. You dig? That's one thing they all agree on. Oh, Here, another Charlie talking point. Everyone has the same opportunity in America, everyone. S.S. Smith, listen, I want y'all to hear me closely. Hold up. Browning said, why are black communities more violent? Are you talking, you know the name of this stream right here? I'm going to say it again. Browning, listen to me. Answer this question. Don't deflect. 5 police officers were shot yesterday. 3 of them died by a 24-year-old white man. Answer that question. Whose community is more violent? When have we ever had Unabombers? When have we ever ran into churches killing innocent people? Ran into schools killing innocent people? Answer that question, Browning. Nobody wants to talk about that. Y'all don't care about blue lives? You're not Blue Lives Matter today? Y'all keep talking about 1 trillion divided by 450 million. I said that's a start. We're going to start. You guys know how to listen? Where'd Browning go? I want him to answer this question. Maybe somebody else can answer it for him. Okay, you're talking about statistics, bro. See, I done my Browning. It's cool. It's cool, bro. I understand why you don't want to answer the question. I get it. I'd be ashamed too, but the jig is up, y'all. All this talk about black crime, that's over, man. That's over. Look what's going on out here. You dig? Charlie's last words was gang violence. And he got killed by a white man. You dig? Come on, man. There was a school shooting the same damn day as Charlie Kirk's murder. Come on, man. I'm not a leftist. See, y'all love to do the left-right shit. That's why, see, this left-right shit is more dangerous than anything going on in Chicago. The shit that y'all setting us up for, DC ain't got nothing on what y'all about to do. Y'all look like a real deal gang. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all can never get along. If it wasn't for us, y'all would have killed each other a long time ago. If it wasn't for us, y'all would have killed each other a long time ago. Lamar Gray, shout out to you, man. I don't deflect like y'all. That's not what I do. Y'all have said nothing about this shooting that took place yesterday. Why are you not talking about that? Joseph, I want you to know where I stand, homie. I hope you do. Patrick said, wasn't it the CIA that put crack in the hood? Yes, they had their hands all in it. But it was ultimately it was the U.S. government. I'm not talking about me being a victim. I'm talking about the 5 police officers that were victims yesterday by the hands of a Caucasian man. Why don't y'all want to talk about it? Cutter said black people are never to blame for their own behavior. No, you're right. Listen, everything you see in black society, let me tell y'all something. Everything y'all see in black society, from the hoochie mamas twerking at the restaurant to the drive-by shootings, all of that is a product of white supremacy. All of that. You understand? Those young brothers learned the violence and they learned the savagery by the American forefathers. You understand? Let's be real. Everything you see negative in black society is a byproduct of white supremacy. We have always been the problem in your eyes. Even when we were dressed in 3-piece suits, building Black Wall Streets and Greenwoods and Rosewoods, when we were the most productive, humble people, you guys still would hang us from trees. We've always been the problem. Listen, all the black folks in here, I want y'all to understand, nothing you do on this earth will ever be good enough, okay? They will always find a problem with whatever we do. You dig? Take cash. Nah, they don't want to talk about that. They don't want to talk about that. We were the most humblest of people. the most constructive people. They still found a way to go lynch. They would antagonize, and we've always been criminalized. We've always been criminalized. We've always had a magnifying glass on us. To drink out of a water fountain was a criminal prosecution. Okay? I want y'all to understand it. To whistle at a white woman was a offense punishable by death here in America. You understand that? Don't ever, I'm talking about a little boy. Don't ever let nobody tell you that you were the fucking problem. As we see today, all this violence going on, all this hatred, all this separation, it's not by the hands of us, y'all. You dig? Well, look, since y'all don't want to talk about, the 5 officers, since blue lives don't matter to you, I love funk music said Black Wall Street didn't fall, it was bombed. Yeah, the US government dropped a bomb on an all-black town, a very successful black town, because they were jealous and they wanted to sabotage. Nobody want to talk about that? Anybody want to talk about Black Wall Street? Anybody? Nobody wants to talk about Black Wall Street? Of course you don't. Of course you don't. You want to stay in your racist little bubble and do what makes you feel good. That racism makes your heart warm. We are two different people. We are two different people. You guys want to hear sweet nothings. You want to hear Charlie Kirk whisper sweet nothings in your ear and tell you how beautiful and how great you are, how everybody else is bad. Isn't that what you want to hear? This is not that channel. This is not that station. Okay? I'm going to tell you racists how degenerate you are. We're going to remind you because you're trying to hide it now. You're trying to hide this shit. 305 Rome said, will there ever be another Black Wall Street and how could we make another one? Well, first and foremost, they can start by paying the reparations. And will there be another one? Who knows? They keep sabotaging them. They drop bombs on the motherfuckers. Like, come on, man. Jen said, Jen, you don't care about the cops. You haven't said one word about the cops. Honestly, to be honest with you, I care that those 5 officers were shot and that 3 of them will not make it home to their family. And it was done by the hands of a Caucasian man. Sharon Haywood said Black Wall Street. Yeah, they don't want to talk about Black Wall Street. No, I do. You're projecting, Andrew. You don't give a shit. You don't give a shit. What do you mean, and? It's Joseph, and? And? Come on, and? Like, and y'all keep deflecting to us and what we do. Dustin Sherman said, I just want to hear that you are wanting the best for all people and that you do your best every day to guide young people to do better. My man, I don't even got to say, I don't have to say that because that's what I do. That's the way I live. That's the way I live, homie. I don't have to say that. But see, that's like Charlie Kirk shit, to go out here and act, to put on an act. I don't have to put on an act. I can tell the truth because the people that know me, they know how I live my life. Tay Cash said 70 black families came up together in Georgia. Now they have almost 5,000 acres. Look it up. Yeah, I heard about that. That's what's up. Good for them. Sorrenta said, how many people do you help? My man, I couldn't even count on my hands and toes, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm involved in my community. Let's just say that. I help people. And the most important thing I do, let me tell you, the most important thing I do is I live by example. I live by example. So Real said black people fought the Civil War too. Yeah, if it wasn't for blacks, they even said it, man. If it wasn't for blacks, man, they would have lost the Civil War. You did. We went to that Civil War and we put in work. DRG said, boy, where's your daddy at? No excuses. Jen said, you got brainwashed. Okay. No, the thing is, what you're hearing now is real information, not the feel-good information that y'all seek out. You dig? DT said, we were fighting for you. No, the hell you was. That's another myth. You guys were fighting for the same reason they're fighting now, for power, greed, and hate. Okay? Don't ever get that fucked up. Go do the homework, man. Will Yeshurun said, we need them to leave asking, what have you done? Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I don't have to do jack shit. I'm not one of these people that's like, oh, what did you... I don't have to do shit. You dig? Gotta do a motherfucking thing. Sorrenta said, can't you just be American and stop letting billionaires fuck this up? What are you talking about? What billionaires? See, I can't address that, man. Like, that was very unintelligent of you, man. Cliff said the Civil War was not about slavery. It sure the hell wasn't. That's more feel good that people say to make their history feel better. You understand? I just told y'all about that. It's little things that they do to, like, deflect from the truth so they can feel better about what happened in the past. I get it, man. It's a natural reaction. It's a natural reaction. I Love Funk said, that's what they teach little kids to sugarcoat it. Yeah. Come on, man. Tay Cash said, why was Israel the first to post Charlie's death? Yeah, but they swear that they know why Charlie died. They all over the place, man. Jen said, we can't undo history, man. Grow up. I'm glad you said that, because this is the thing. And Charlie was very big on this. He was big on telling everybody, hey, why should I feel guilty? Why should I be worried about what happened in the past? And I agree to an extent. I agree. But guess what? Guess what? Your forefathers made moves, okay? Your forefathers had a very racist history here. And should you feel guilty? No. But should you be aware of what the foundation that they set for you? Listen, if I come out here and I leave my kids nothing, if I don't work hard today and I leave them nothing, they're gonna have to accept the fact that daddy wasn't prioritizing us. So, but I don't think y'all should feel guilty. I think that people should just understand what happened here and understand that the reality of what happened and say, you know what, shit, they did fuck up. You know what I'm saying? But instead, look at the chat. The chat is carrying on that same legacy. You dig? Y'all feel the same way that your forefathers felt. Y'all feel the same way that your forefathers felt. So it's not like it's a whole new people that have been created. Look at the chat. This is Charlie Kirk's fruit. This is what the fruit he bared. These are the people that he spoke to and taught. You got, these are Charlie Kirk's students. You dig? Come on, man. Come on. Come on. Turn the page, said America is the greatest country we can be in right now. I agree. I totally agree. Listen, I totally agree, but maybe we can all agree on this. This whole left-right violence, this whole white supremacy violence that's going on from within, it's going to fuck us all up. Can anybody agree with that? This whole beef that y'all got going on, the Nick Fuentes's and the Charlie Kirks and the Donald Trumps, this whole shit, and the liberals and the Democrats, can y'all at least agree that this is gonna fuck us up? Turn the page says, I agree, we need to be neutral on both sides. Something's gonna have to change, bro. Kuda said, we were denied that because our great-grandparents were considered property and non-humans. Yeah, hey, I'm glad you said that, bro. My man said, pay us what you owe. Yeah, let me say this. People were like, why don't you just move on? Forget about it. Bro, I have a slave owner's last name. I can never forget about this shit. I will never forget. As long as I got a slave owner's last name, I will never forget about this shit. You understand? Jen said, I owe you courtesy, and that's all. You don't even owe me that, sweetheart. It ain't about me. It's about being a better person for yourself. It's about being a better person for yourself. Fuck me. Be a better person. Don't hate. Don't be a hater. No, I didn't want Kamala. Listen, go on my page, man. We banged on Kamala all year. We made sure she didn't get in office. I don't fuck with Kamala Harris like that. We didn't fuck with Obama like that. You know what I'm saying? Cliff said, real question. You're only alive and here today because of slavery. Why be mad about it? No. Slow down. We gotta talk about that bullshit. Because that's some shit that y'all say. That's more feel good. You're only here. This country is only here because of slavery. Do you understand that? If it wasn't for slavery and black people building this shit, this America would not be great. That's a fact. Don't comment. Let it swirl around in your head for a second. Don't tell me that, oh, well, if it wasn't for slavery, you wouldn't. No. If it wasn't for us, this shit would not be the way it is. You understand that? Think about that before you comment. Will said, this is our land, and they know. Yeah, they know. Talk Terry, shout out to you, sweetheart. Yeah, whenever they hit you with that, well, you should just be grateful that you were a slave. Motherfucker, y'all should be grateful. We built this shit. Y'all should be grateful. You dig? Don't tell us we should be grateful because we were subjugated for hundreds of years. Come on, man. Kuda said, the wealth accumulated by the plantations as a collective, whatever the sum is, should be paid out to the descendants of slaves from these plantations. Not only the plantations, you got to look at J.P. Morgan, Johnson & Johnson. The list goes on. These billionaire companies built their wealth over slavery. You dig? No, don't blame the Jews. Don't blame the Jews. Okay? Don't blame the Jews. Don't do that. DRG said, you weren't subjugated. Thank your history. You are here, boy. Come on, come on, man. Come on. Yeah, I know y'all blame the Jews. I know you do. The Jews put belt to ass. They oppressing y'all. So y'all are oppressed? Aren't you guys oppressed? Don't the Jews oppress y'all? Sure. See, the thing about the whole Jewish shit, y'all be like, boy, it's the Jews. Listen, when Kanye got canceled, y'all didn't speak up for Kanye. Y'all didn't protect Kanye. You all actually assisted in him getting canceled. Right? You all helped blackball him. You're on the same side as the Jews when it's convenient. You dig? Come on, man. Yeah, I don't buy all that Jew shit, dog. Baby Joker said, we oppress your subhuman ass. Thank you for your comments, sir. I love these racist comments, bro. This shit it makes my whole point for me. Look, you got people in the chat saying, stop being a victim. Stop talking about racism. Racism doesn't exist. So when these good comments come up and he says, we oppress your subhuman, this is how a lot of people think. They think we're subhuman. Scott Lawhan said, your hat is racist. How's my hat racist? Tom C said, should the Turks pay the whites for reparations for slavery too then, with your theory? Sure. But see, let me tell you, man, the thing is, we're not haters. We would never stop somebody from getting what they owe. Get the money from the Turks. If you were ever enslaved in your life, I want you to get your money. See, that's the difference between me and you. You understand? We don't hate, bruh. Like, we want everybody to get right. Y'all the only ones like, no. Like, no, you don't get any money. This is just basic racism, dog. All right, Sorrento 47. Just bounce, homie. You don't gotta stay here. Nobody keeping you here. I did my numbers for the day. You did? Dwayne Curry said, but they are not racist. Look at the comments. I know, brother. I mean, I love this shit, man. I love this shit. Terry Talk said, yup, all these companies built their wealth on the backs. We can now do the same for ourselves. We live. Yeah. Joseph, don't be mad, man. I know you hurt. I know your feelings are hurt. Sadistic Savage keeps saying the same comment. Cope, brother, cope. Jen said, you mad at me because I was born white. What? Golly. The projection is real. The projection is real. Kook said, Turks and whites is BS. He means Europeans were in America talking about, hey, bro, I tell you the truth, I don't even care what he was talking about. I was just going with his narrative just to prove a point. That if somebody owes their ass, I want them to get their money. Get your goddamn money, man. You dig? YouTube said, yeah, if you can build it for yourself, then go ahead and do it. Build it. We are all waiting for the black community to rise up and build some shit. Timothy said, I'm a white Christian. I love you, black brother. Shout out to you, Timothy. I appreciate the love, man. Scott Lohan said, I'm going to assume you're on welfare and you're now pointing your finger at the white people for your problems. I'm not on welfare, my man. Andrew Williams said, I love my black family, just not niggas. Listen, we know there's a difference between niggas and black people. I love niggas and black people, but I understand why niggas act the way they do. I don't condone it. I've made several videos on it. I used to be a nigga. I can still be a nigga sometimes. So we all are one big family, you know what I'm saying? But the thing I don't like is how people like Charlie Kirk, they tried to make us all seem like we was niggas. And he really spoke and painted with a broad brush. And that's not right. You understand? YouTube, that hoe is so funny, man. It's so funny. Nisha Field says, oh, what's up, Nisha? What's going on? Yeah, see, I got people that know me in this chat, man. But no, let them tell it I'm on welfare, man. And even if I was on welfare, big fucking deal, man, but I'm not, okay? DEI, you believe in getting a job you didn't earn. I just went through the whole DEI thing. Black Americans didn't benefit from DEI. White women benefited from DEI. Next. Jen, I tell you, said you live off a white lady, right? Jen, stop projecting, because I know you be having the brothers over your house, right? You be having the brothers over your house. You be paying like you weigh, don't you? Don't project onto me. I got my own shit, okay? I don't need to live off anybody. You dig? Jen, you know you be having the brothers trapping out your house. Don't front. Don't front. Jen said, I married a Native American and to get my reparations, dummy. Oh, wow. That's deep. But you still be having the trappers over your house. Don't front, Jen. They be eating up the kids' fruit snacks. Huh? You be bopping them off? Don't front, Jen. Come on, Jen. Come on. See, let's talk about this though. Let's get into this before I dip out. Let's talk about all the Charlie Kirk supporters that used to be in love with their soul pole. Let's talk about that for a second. Huh? Let's talk about that. Y'all don't want to talk about that. Huh? Or the yo-yo boys. They used to be yo-yo boys, but they grew up, now they like 35, and now they hate niggas. We all know something, don't we? Hey, So Real said Jen wants you definitely. Jen, she be in this chat every damn day. Try to get my attention. Jen, I don't want you. I'm in a relationship, baby. I'm sorry. Cuckoo said, go back to Europe. Turn the page says, Charlie Kirk would have told you Jesus loves you, man. He never once would think of you as the N-word. Bro, you yourself and a lot of people call themselves and denigrate themselves with victim talk. Charlie Kirk used that religion as a cloak. And I understand the 85% were too fucking stupid to see past it. Okay, why didn't he take his goddamn religion and his money and spread the wealth out? He went and got himself a nice big mansion, right? It's no different than Joel Osteen. At least Joel Osteen, he probably really do believe in Jesus. You dig? They was trying to set Charlie up to be the next president, dog. Let's just be real. He was funded from the top down. I'm talking about Lowe's, big corporations donated to Charlie. Y'all just couldn't see the shit. You know what I'm saying? Take Ass says Charlie was all about moolah. Why y'all being slow? They can't see that shit was a performance. Like they couldn't see that shit, man. I don't need you to embrace me. Dude said we embrace y'all, then you started saying we owe you. We're talking, see, we said the American government. Did you really embrace us? First and foremost, I don't need you to embrace me. Okay, that's number one. Number two, if you really embraced us and you were supposedly friends with black folks and your black brother say, hey man, the US government gotta pay us reparations. You be like, you know what, brother? They should pay you reparations. But you didn't embrace your friends. You was just talking. You was just talking, bro. You was just talking. You didn't embrace any goddamn body. We embraced you. Then you said we owe. You didn't embrace shit. Knock it off. Yeah, Charlie was against reparations. That's another reason I had to kick his back in. How dare that scumbag to say we shouldn't get reparations and then to lie about history. He should have just left it like, man, I don't believe in reparations. But he had to go lie. He went and told some lies. He like, well, you couldn't get it together after 150 years. Like, really, bro? Like, you're not gonna tell the whole truth? Chad said, I was raised by a black family and none of them believed that they deserve reparations. They wasn't black Americans. I tell you that. They wasn't, well, where were they from? What country were they from? Cherry the Gas Man said, non-blacks regurgitate the same insults and talking points. Yeah, come on, man. Yeah, they do. That's just a fact. That's just a fact. You can have Africans in here. They be like, no, the nigga shouldn't get reparations. All right, okay. No, look, we black Americans, we stand on our own, man, for the most part. You know what I'm saying? Nobody wants us to have reparations. Nobody wants us to get justice. You know what I'm saying? Sin said there's no such thing as a black American. Well, that's the second time you left that bullshit comment, and it just makes you look stupid. What are there then? What are there? If there's no black Americans, what do you call us? Chad Bo said we have the same opportunities. Yeah, I'm glad you said that. Now, Chad, let me tell you the difference. Let me tell y'all the difference, because that's another Kirk talking point. We all have the same opportunities. Let me tell you the difference. I'm gonna give y'all one example. And don't laugh and don't make it a joke. I want you to think about it. Think about Puff Daddy Combs, P. Diddy. P. Diddy was a goddamn billionaire. He reached the highest heights. He done been with the presidents. He done stood tall with all kind of people. Had everything a man could want. They hit him with a RICO, right? A bogus. They hit him with a bogus RICO. Then when he got found innocent of the RICO, he's still in jail for buying prostitutes, even though he offered a $50 million bail package. You mean to tell me that's not systematic racism right there? Is that what you saying? Jen, I tell you, said, why do rich black people move out of neighborhoods? Let me ask you a question, Jen. If I get some money today, right? I live in a middle class neighborhood, mostly white. If I get some money today, right? I get $100 million. Can this middle class white neighborhood furnish a 8-bedroom rancher with 20 acres? No. So I would have to find another neighborhood to move into, right? Right. So of course, if it's a black person that lives in the projects and they get money and the projects can't accommodate their type of money, you dig? So y'all ask the dumbest questions, you dig? Chad Bo said P Diddy pissed the wrong people off. That's why he's in. No, he's still in prison because he's black. He's a nigga. That's why. You want to dance all around it. Don't dance around it. Don't dance around it. Brian Snow said 2-parent family is the downfall. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. Sin said, explain to me where does it state that black is your race, brother? Oh shit! Now, are you a Moor? Are you with the Moor Science Temple? Come on, baby. Come on. We don't want to do that. We don't want to do that. You can call me what you want. You can call me a Moor. You can call me whatever you want. But I identify as a foundational black American, okay? We ain't got to play them games. Nobody got time to play them games. Yeah, y'all want to say everything but the truth. Do you think the judge and them cared about him trying to get his own distribution company? No, they don't care about that. They kept him locked up because he's a black man and he won a RICO, a bogus RICO. See, normally a RICO would take years or months to do surveillance, to get phone calls, to do all kind of, things for RICO to gather evidence. They picked that man up quick. They put the tape out of him beating Cassie, right, to sway public opinion. And then they hit him with a fucking RICO charge that we all knew wasn't going to stick. He beat all those major charges. He was left with a charge of buying prostitutes, a charge that holds what, 3 to 5 years, and he's still locked up after offering a $50 million bail package. That's racism at its finest. You dig? We ain't paying you shit, monkey. I know. I know. Y'all stuck on this Who did he rape? See, Jen, how old are you, sweetheart? You must be old, because he didn't rape anybody. He was never charged with rape. Yeah, Jen, she's a great proponent for white supremacy. She's, just like the rest of the people in the chat. They want to uphold white supremacy. That's why they all had the same talking points. Tay Cash says Diddy was a swinger. Yeah, he's in federal prison because he was a swinger. That's crazy. Joseph says, go put your mask on and protest, you liberal. No. Number one, I'm not liberal. Number two, it's the MAGA people are in the streets talking about fight back, white man, fight back. Right? Y'all the ones getting people fired, dog. How y'all get Jimmy Kimmel fired? Like, come on, y'all. Let me tell you what that is. The fact that they got to get people fired, it shows you how fragile they are. It shows you that they don't have a lot going on. They're very fragile. You see what I'm saying? Take Cash said MFers knew what they was getting into at them parties. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And now that we found out the facts, it wasn't even really no parties. It was private freak-offs between him, Cassie, and whoever they brought into the bedroom. The whole party shit, that wasn't even real. Everybody imagine a party where everybody is fucking and sucking. The facts came out. The prostitute, the sex workers came and they've got 100 interviews out here. They told us exactly what the freak-offs was. The freak-offs was Diddy and Cassie bringing other people into their bedroom. You dig? S.S. Smith says, I'm not even white. We're just tired of people like you spreading false claims. What did I say that was false? Tell me one thing I said that was false. DRG said, liberal talking points you use makes it liberal, buddy. No problem. Maybe it's just the truth. You ever consider that? All right. Jen said he beat his black girlfriend. Do you think he deserves justice? Jen, number one, Cassie is not black. And number two, he was never charged with her, beating her. So you just out of touch. You gotta go read a fucking book or something, because you just way off. You just way off, sweetheart. You dig? But look, I gotta get back to work, man. I'm about to go do what I gotta do. I appreciate y'all. Hey, look, man, take cash, I appreciate you. Everybody else, I appreciate y'all too. I will be back maybe tomorrow or next week, 1 to 2, maybe Sunday, I don't know. I might go live Sunday. But shout out to y'all, man. I'm out.